Hello and welcome back. And in this video, we're going to start building out our custom layout. So what I've done is I've added some images into our project. There are some Avenger or superhero images. So I've got 4 of them right here. And then I've got I've also got these images, image 0, 1, 2, 3, just random images that I've actually taken from the internet, and I've downloaded them. I also include them in the assets. For simplicity, I'm actually including it within the project, but depending upon your project's need, you may actually download this from the internet directly. So it's totally up to you, like what you're gonna do with it. But like for simplicity's sake, just to focus on the implementation part for the custom layout, I'm gonna actually keep these images in the asset folder. Okay, let's go ahead and create a new group, and this group we're gonna call custom layout. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay, and I think first thing I'm going to do is create a new file called superhero. This is just going to be a model that's going to show this table view. So let's go ahead and say superhero dot swift. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a struct. So I'm going to copy paste some code right here so you don't see me typing, but it's a simple struct of superhero with 3 properties: name, profile pic, and description. And then I've got this extension that I'm going to put right here. And let's see, do we have Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow, Captain America, and Hulk? So let's make sure we have Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow, Captain America, and Hulk. Okay, cool. So what I want to do is these profiles. So Iron Man profile picture. I'm just gonna select the Iron Man from here. I'm gonna select Thor for here. I'm gonna select Black Widow and Captain America and Hulk. Okay. So let me show you what's going on here. Basically, what we are doing is we are creating an extension on superhero that actually is a static function that populates the Avengers, and it simply creates an array. And here I'm simply creating this variable Iron Man, and superhero basically struct initialized with name, profile pic, and in case you're not aware, this is actually image literal, so you can just type image literal, hit enter, and it's going to show you this this photo kind of thing, and you can simply double click and select a photo that's added to your assets. Okay, now the benefit is this actually gives you a visual kind of like a clue of what this image is. Now for me, I was just double clicking and all the images were showing up because in the when I created, I just had to double click, and because names are same, it was able to pick up which image to show. So in your case, you might have to double click and actually choose which image to show and stuff. But yeah, then you have description, and we just create this object, and eventually at the very end, after creating all the superhero objects, I'm just returning Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow, Captain America, and Hulk in an array. Okay, so that's the side. That way, like we don't have to worry about that. Now there is another view that I want to create, basically a blur view. So let's create that one. It's a custom blur view um, that I'm gonna try to create. So let's see, Swift, and we are simply gonna say this one is gonna be blur back view. So it's gonna cover this. Let me show you. So let me create this first. Create. Okay. So this blur that you see at the back of the view, this is the blur view that we're gonna create. Okay. So we're simply gonna create a class for that. So it's gonna import UI kit, and we're going to say class UI view. So it's going to extend UI view or inherit from UI view. Then we're going to create UI image, and whenever that UI image is set, we're going to do some operation here. Okay, what that operation is going to be, we're simply going to create a lazy var, a lazy private property, lazy var back image view UI image view, and we're going to create UI image view right here. Going to set the content mode to be scale aspect fill, and we're going to return this view. Okay, so this is going to be our back view, and then we're going to also create a blur view, UI visual effect view. Okay, this is going to basically blur this image view. So you're going to say view is equal to UI visual effect view, and the UI visual effect is going to be, the effect is going to be UI blur effect with style to be light. Okay, and we're also going to say translate auto resizing mask into constraint to false, because we want to provide our own constraints. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a private function setup, where we're going to set up our entire view. So we're going to simply say add subview back image view. First the image view, on the top of that we're going to add the blur view, and then we're going to give our layout constraint. So activate constraints equal to trailing constraints equal to trailing top and bottom is going to be same. So it's just going to cover the entire screen. Then we're going to do the same thing for the blur. So we're simply going to take that, and I'm going to say blur view, same thing, because blur view is sitting on the top of back image view. Okay, now all of our setup is done. Our back image has covered the entire screen, and then blur view has covered the entire screen, so it's going to give this blur effect. Now we want to make sure that this is actually called from somewhere, so we're going to do init, and we're going to call super.init, and this is where we're going to call our setup, and we also going to do required init super dot. So this one is called when you initialize your view from the A decoder one. It's called when you initialize your view from storyboard. So decoder is passed, and you can let the super view do whatever processing it needs to do, and then call your setup. All right, so with that, our back blur view is ready to be used. We just want to make sure that we actually set an image. Whenever we set an image, to the back image view dot image is equal to whatever image that's been supplied right here. Okay, with that, back blur view is done. Now let's go ahead and go over and create a view controller. So we're going to create a Cocoa Touch class this time, and this is going to be UI collection UI view controller. So UI view controller, and we're going to call this snapped because it snaps when you actually move stuff. It snaps right there in the middle. So snapped view controller is good a name. It's a good name. Yeah. So let's create that. Okay, so now let's create a snap view controller. What we want is basically a collection view at the top. So first let's create a collection view. Once again, we are actually creating the entire layout in the code because that represents most of the industry standard. Most of the tech companies, professional environments actually follow this pattern now, where they try to create everything programmatically because it's easier to test, easier to change, and easier to collaborate on, because there are if there are any merge conflicts and stuff, that can be resolved rather easily, rather than dealing with like storyboard that has XMLs and everything that you don't know what they mean actually, because it's like a bunch of XML is created in the background. So UI collection view layout is equal to Snappy. So layout is something that we're gonna have to actually hang on to. I was actually gonna create it, but we actually don't have a layout yet. So let me create UI collection view, and gonna create frame.0, and simply we're gonna use here UI collection view layout. Alright, so the cell is going to be called Snappy cell because it's going to snap. So UI collection view cell. Okay, and we're simply going to create that. What the cell is going to have is basically lazy var super image. So just an image view. So you can call super image view UI image view, and then gonna create UI image view. And first of all, let's return this view so we don't get an error. And then second thing is translate to false, constraint to false, and then content mode is equal to dot scale aspect fill. Okay, now with all these done, we're gonna again set up our setup view. So func setup view function, where we're gonna actually set up our cell, and here we're simply gonna say content view dot add subview super image view. Okay, content view dot clips to bounds is equal to true, so images, if they're bigger in size, don't bleed out. And then we're gonna give super image view dot layer dot corner radius is equal to 40. Now we are gonna make the corner radius 40 points, but we only gonna do corner radius for two, for top right and bottom left. Okay, and the way to do it is basically use super image view dot layer dot mask corners, basically say that, and it takes an array, and you say layer, and what you want to select is min x, max x min y. So max x min y corner. Now max x is maximum value of x on the x-axis and minimum value on the y-axis. So that's this corner right here. So we're going to select that one, and that's your top right, and then you say layer min x max y. Okay, so in your y-axis basically what you're saying is like x is not changing but y is changing, and whatever the maximum value of y is, that's where you're gonna apply that corner radius. So this corner is gonna get basically rounded as well. Okay, so that's how you actually pick and choose which corner you want to basically make a corner radius to. Okay, all right, so with that, let's give our super image view dot layer dot mass 2 pounds to true as well. So we have this corner radius visible, and then we're also gonna give our image view a border. So layer dot border color is equal to UI color dot white dot CG color, because layers border color takes CG color. So super image view dot. Another one is going to be the border width. We want the border width to be 1, and then we're gonna set up our constraints. Activate. I'm gonna copy that and paste it 4 times, and we're gonna change trailing top and bottom. Okay, now we can actually go and we should be calling this set of views from somewhere, so we should call it from our init. Okay, so that should take care of calling and setting up the view. So we can come here and we simply can say snappy cell dot self. It's going to be the class that we need to register for reusable identifier cell. Okay, now before we proceed, actually, let's pause the video here, and in the next video, let's go ahead and build out our layout, our collection view, custom collection view layout, so we can actually include that right here, so we don't forget about it. And then we're going to continue on for rest of the setup. Okay, so let's go ahead and build out the custom layout in the next video. Okay, so I'll see you guys there. Thank you.